Well, Arash Aramesh is a national security analyst, and he joins us from Stanford in the U.S. state of California. Thanks so much for being with us. What do you think Iran is making of all of this?
Well, Iran has enjoyed the fact that the Netanyahu visit to the U.S. has become a big distraction to the actual contents of a U.S.-Iran P5+1 negotiated deal. The U.S. has been very adamant in terms of not disclosing much of the top secret terms of this deal that has been negotiated between the P5+1. They've put Israel, the White House has put Israel on a sort of a intelligence blockade when it comes down to Iranian nuclear negotiations. And I think, in my humble opinion, the Prime Minister's visit to Washington is not doing any service to the state of Israel or to enhancing Israel's position that this deal is a bad deal and Iran is getting away with too much. So what Iran has been trying to do is that to sit back and take advantage of the fact that a lot of attention and a lot of focus has been paid to and has been given to this visit, to the rift, to the personal rift and tensions between President Barack Obama and Prime Minister Netanyahu, and not exactly to what goes on in Geneva or elsewhere for these nuclear talks.
I mean, the Prime Minister is determined there would be a credible threat if Iran became nuclear capable. Isn't it reasonable that he should take any available opportunity to stress that warning?
Absolutely, and the best thing to do should be to work with the international coalition built by the U.S. and led by the United States, which is Israel's best friend. And Israel is a great ally of the United States. We shouldn't forget that in the region, Israel is the only democracy in the Mideast and also is the U.S.'s greatest ally. But the Prime Minister should have had greater faith in our president and in the U.S. government when the president says that he does not bluff when it comes down to the Iranian nuclear program. When the president says that he will have Israel's back and he will not let a nuclear-armed Iran to be, or he would not allow Iran to threaten the state of Israel, the Prime Minister should have taken that with more confidence. Now, by coming to the U.S., by sort of interjecting himself into U.S. domestic politics, by siding with one particular political party and not the other, the Prime Minister has sort of done a lot of damage to years and years and decades of bipartisan support for the great state of Israel. Two senior Democrats, for instance, Dick Durbin of Illinois and Dianne Feinstein of California, both great friends of Israel, have been denied their meetings with the Prime Minister because they're Democrats and they're supportive of the president's actions. I mean, this goes on and on and on. And to accept the Speaker of the House's invitation to come to the United States without following diplomatic protocol, without letting the State Department or the White House know, is just not something that you want to have in the diplomatic world, especially between two great allies like the U.S. and Israel. So overall, I think while the damage has been, while a great deal of damage has been done to this relationship, especially the bad relationship between the president and the prime minister has gotten worse, this is not something that is irreparable. It will get repaired. The two countries will move on. But again, the focus and the attention and hours and hours of coverage has been dedicated to this visit instead of actual, more important, substantive matters to be discussed.
Arash Aramesh, National Security Analyst, thank you very much for your time.